in Monroeville, Pennsylvania. Tonight, it is 247 Fighting Championships, and we are live for Brawl in the Berg 4. Welcome, everybody viewing at 247fightingchampionships.com. We'd like to thank you to our event brought to you by our new partnership with Legacy Remodeling, Pittsburgh's premier remodeler. Also, Ken Sinagra, Northwestern Mutual Advisor, Live Life with a Financial Plan, and Sunny Days in-home care, dignified, independent comfort, safety in your own home. We'd also like to remind you, don't forget, we will be streaming live at 247fighting.com for Brawl in the Berg 5. That will be taking place on Saturday. And now, ladies and gentlemen, it is time to start the evening up and bring your first fighter to the cage. Ladies and gentlemen, making his way to the blue corner, please welcome Kevin Stripling.
First fight of the evening here as Kevin Stripling comes out to some Flowbots.
Self-taught, self-trained, independent fighter out of Bethlehem, Pennsylvania, which is near where I grew up in Allentown, Pennsylvania. So it's nice to hear that eastern side of the state being represented here tonight.
Exactly, and a lot of times with debut fighters, for us, it's difficult to figure out kind of what to say about them. And a lot of times you go and you talk to the fighters that are debuting, and they seem pretty nervous and don't really know, but these guys have all been, I think, waiting and just chomping at the bit to get in there. I did not get the same sense that, a lot of the nervousness and what you normally see. I think these guys are ready to go. Stripling was supposed to fight on 247 card back in March and has been waiting 8 long months to make his amateur debut, and I think he's ready to go here tonight.
Yeah, that's probably going to be a theme. That's probably going to be a theme of tonight. A lot of fighters were either on the 247 Fighting Championship card in March that got canceled because of COVID, or wanted to be, and now 8 months later just can't wait to be fighting. I heard that over and over again when I was interviewing the fighters before this, that they just want to put into action what they've been learning all these long months.
Send it back up to Jazz Securo to bring up the next fighter.
Now, ladies and gentlemen, please welcome his opponent to the cage. Here he is, Brandon Jackman.
We talked about Brandon Jackman briefly before the event started. 0-4, but his first fight since 2014. He's kind of started training at Stout Training Center, now 39 years old, and has the nickname The Vendetta because I think that he has, he wants to turn around things and get his first amateur win here tonight at 247.
Absolutely. We're gonna get the opportunity to see what they have to bring. Stripling versus Jackman coming up next.
Take a look here at the tail of the tape. As we mentioned, 39-year-old Brandon Jackman against the 25-year-old Kevin Stripling. Stripling has a 2-inch height advantage, and they both come in at 183 pounds for this middleweight bout as they both make their amateur debut. I did want to mention Jackman told me he is fighting this one last fight for his friend who died of cancer this year, and he was going to donate all of his ticket money to cancer research. His friend was Brad Hauser, but I think he is just excited to get back into the cage here tonight.
What a great motivation to pick up his first debut win, fighting for a deceased friend like that. That's an incredible backstory.
And we will send it back to Jazz Securo for the official fighter introduction.
Once again, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to 247 Fighting Championships Brawl in the Berg 4. We are live at the Monroeville Convention Center. Ladies and gentlemen, tonight's event is sanctioned by the Pennsylvania State Athletic Commission. Your commissioner ringside is Mr. Rick Steigerward, your executive director, Greg Serve, and your officials tonight, your judges, Jamie Chesney, Todd Kriska, Phil Rogers. Your referee inside the cage tonight, Chip Snyder, and your physician at ringside is Dr. Eric Bond. And now, ladies and gentlemen, we are underway. Our first fight of the night is brought to you by Sunny Days in-home care. 3 rounds in the 247 Fighting Championships Amateur Middleweight Division. And now introducing, fighting out of the blue corner, standing 6 feet 3 inches tall, weighing in at 183 even and ready pounds, fighting out of Bethlehem, Pennsylvania, tonight making his debut in the cage. Ladies and gentlemen, introducing Kevin Cutmay Stripling. And across the cage, fighting out of the red corner. His height, 6 feet 1 inch tall. He also weighed in at 183 pounds. His record, 0 wins, 4 defeats. Representing Stout Training Pittsburgh, fighting out of Alquippa, Pennsylvania, presenting Brandon Vendetta Jackman. Your referee is Chip Snyder.
Amateur bout here in the middleweight division. Kevin Stripling in the black and Brandon Jackman in the black and white. Chip Snyder is the referee for this novice amateur bout.
And Brawl in the Berg 4 is officially underway.
You see Stripling coming out strong here early on, using his reach as he grabs the cage there. Jackman with the body lock looking for the takedown. And actually Stripling looked like he dragged Jackman to the ground. Now in side control, looks like he has this choke here. I'm not sure if he's going to be able to finish this. Looks like has a pretty tight grip there, but Jackman trying to sneak out the back.
He's trying to cut off the blood supply on both of the carotids. And we just got a thumbs up for Vendetta. Looks like he's going to try to fight out of it.
Yeah.
Looks like some type of modified choke.
Almost like a bulldog choke there.
Well, now it is the bulldog choke over on the side there.
Jackman now looking for this single leg here as Stripling is back to his feet.
We saw Stripling think about punching. You cannot punch a grounded opponent in the amateur novice fights.
No strikes to the head.
No strikes.
They can't strike to the body there. As you see Stripling with a nice takedown there.
Kind of rolled him over. And now we're into a nice little grappling exchange here. As Jackman's starting to try to work his way up, he's got to be careful about the guillotine. It doesn't look like Stripling's going to look for the guillotine.
Yeah, Stripling back to his feet here. I think he wants to have this one on the feet. He was doing pretty well there early on in the fight as he now moves back. He moves back and forth a lot in between southpaw and orthodox and keeps those hands pretty low.
Yeah, we probably already saw a little bit of what Jackman's going to try to do, which is tie it up and maybe take it to the ground. And he's probably learned,
Big uppercut there from Stripling, and Jackman looks like he lost his mouthpiece.
And you'll see there's no way to follow up with punches on the ground, so it looks like Stripling decided just to let him get back up.
First round there ends. Short 2-minute rounds here in the novice amateur division, and that was a really action-packed first round there for two guys with Stripling making his debut and Jackman first fight since 2014.
It was indeed. You see clearly that Stripling's really looking to be precise in his striking, and we saw that rear long uppercut, which was kind of a mix between an uppercut and a cross, is what knocked Jackman's mouthpiece out in the last couple seconds of the first round.
Yeah, and I think the round was pretty close up until then. I think that probably secured that first round there for Kevin Stripling.
Yeah, a clean knockdown like that is definitely going to sway the judges and probably be the 10-9 round.
And as I look at my notes here, Stripling, I asked him how does he describe his fighting style, and he said erratic. And that's, I think, maybe the first time I've ever heard that from a fighter. But looking at him, I think it is a perfect explanation.
Well, I would like to say maybe dynamic over erratic, but if he said erratic, here we go, round 2. We see a little bit of fatigue, I think, showing on the face of Jackman.
Spinning back fist there from Stripling, misses, but he lands the left hand there pretty clean. Jackman, I think, really wants to get this fight to the ground.
Yeah.
As he has the body lock here. Needs to get his hips down lower, throws the big right hand off the break, just misses.
This is definitely falling into Stripling's game plan to strike at distance, and we'll see if Jackman can change it out. That rear push kick was a smart idea to keep his striking a little bit more dynamic than what it's been. You'll see that Stripling continues to let Jackman up. I think after that exchange on the ground, he realized he just doesn't have a lot of reasons to be down there with him right now.
Yeah, I think maybe he feels like he has the advantage here on the feet, too. He had the big knockout, and he comes forward there again with the big flurry, but Jackman withstands it and ends up getting the takedown on top here now in half guard.
Yeah, good for Jackman getting back down. He almost got rolled through on that takedown, which wouldn't have been too good. And obviously, let's see what Stripling can do off his back.
Yeah, Stripling regains there, has a half butterfly guard here on Jackman's right side. Jackman trying to do some work here on the ground. Grabs Stripling's neck. Going to be tough to finish this. Stripling, you see, has his left leg hooked through behind the knee of Jackman. That was going to be tough to finish from that position. But Jackman, I think, is happy to be back in the half guard here. And with these such short rounds, I mean, you got to feel like Jackman is at least hoping maybe that he can steal this second round and maybe go into the round 3 1-1.
Well, and Jackman's showing that even though there's no strikes to the head of a ground opponent, he's doing a good job throwing both punches and elbows to the body. As long as it's below the clavicle, the collarbones, you can do this, and that's what he's been doing. And I think that's been pretty effective.
Now in full mount here as he looks like he's going to end the round in that dominant position, and I think a good comeback round there for Brandon Jackman, as in my opinion he evens things up heading into the third round.
Absolutely, and what we'll see a lot, and that's why they're 3-round fights, is when somebody adjusts, and obviously Jackman's plan was to get it to the ground, and I think he made the most of his time on the ground. And obviously the third round is going to come down to, can Stripling keep it standing? He had that incredibly smooth, clean punch knockdown in the first round, and I think he could probably get that again if they stay striking, but clearly Jackman was able to take it to the ground and avoid really any more of those damaging strikes on the feet.
Yeah, and you saw that that kick there during the replay from Stripling. That almost looked like a soccer kick behind the leg, or behind the back soccer kick. I don't know if I've ever seen that before, but it was effective. It got Jackman to the ground.
A little bit more of a trip. Yeah, here we go for the third round. Remember to be using the hashtag BITB4 on all of your social media posts tonight.
Round 3 here. Thank you for joining us on 247fighting.com. This bout brought to you by Sunny Days Inn Home Care.
Starting out with a sign of respect between the fighters, which is great. We see a little bit of fatigue showing, and let's see what really happens in the third round here.
Nice kick there from Jackman to close the distance, or from Stripling, excuse me, to close the distance, but Jackman able to end up with another takedown here in round number 3.
And with a minute and a half left in the round, I think if Jackman can recreate what he did in the last seconds of the last round, it could be pretty effective here. They can get stood back up. That is possible. The referee, Chip, is going to be looking at that, and I think Jackman's
looking for the Von Flue choke here. Has that shoulder into the chin of Stripling, and Stripling needs to let go of this underhook here on the left side to not get it. It looks like he's going to he's trying to finish this here.
He is indeed.
And Jackman immediately going for that takedown. I think that was his corner telling him, let's not play with him on the feet anymore. Right. You've got a huge advantage on the ground.
Yep.
And let's go out and get this win. It looks like he might be trying to creep that left knee up here to try to go for an armbar. 50 seconds left here in round number 3.
Late in the fight, you have to be a little careful going for an armbar because you can give up position that way pretty easily. But clearly, Jackman's in a good position for him. He's in the full mount. I think it would be a little bit better for him if he threw strikes in, and now that position's being given up. Let's see what happens here.
Nice roll through there by Stripling, but Jackman doing a good job with the wrestling. Does a nice hip ride and ends up on top. But Stripling back to his feet, and I think he actually threw a couple of strikes there with Jackman still on the ground to the head.
I don't think they landed as they would have been illegal, and I think Chip warned there. But let's see how this fight goes down. Under 10 seconds left in the fight.
Big flurry here from Stripling at the end, trying to get the judge's decision, and he lands a big left hand and a right. Wow, great into that fight. That was a fantastic opening fight, and I think both of those guys showed at the end of that they really wanted it.
Well, speaking of judge's decision, our first fight of the night for Brawl in the Berg 4 has gone the distance and will be decided by our 3 Pennsylvania commission-sanctioned judges. And I think we're going to see kind of what they like. Stripling did land some pretty clean shots in the last 10 seconds, and it's going to depend. Do they like the damage? Do they like the control? Because that last round was a minute and 30 seconds of it was controlled by Jackman. But that end flurry may have made some decisions for the judges. We'll see.
Oh, and I just saw the the nice cradle there, takedown from Jackman. I kind of missed that the first, but good takedown there as he ended up on top. You see here the great shot from our cameraman. A huge cut opened up under the right eye of Brandon Jackman. I think that this is a close fight, and if he does end up getting the victory, then he's going to have definitely earned it with a tough fight here against Kevin Stripling, as we still await for the judges to give their decision.
I'm going to be standing by to interview. Whoever the winner is will be earning their first amateur win in MMA. It'll be exciting. I can't wait to talk with whoever the winner ends up being.
Yeah, and that cut, as you can see, look, it ended up on the. I think that was right at the end of the fight. That big flurry there from Kevin Stripling, as you see the doctor working on that cut, a big nasty cut there at the end, as Jackman looked like he was doing a good job in that third round, had position, but man, ate a lot of shots there at the end.
Absolutely, and it's good for him that it didn't go any longer, as that cut would probably not have been allowed to go another round. Here we go to the official decision.
Ladies and gentlemen, after 3 rounds of fighting, we go to the judges' scorecards. Judge 1 scores at 29-28 for Jackman. Judge 2 scores at 29-28 for Stripling. And Judge 3 scores at 29-28 for your winner by split decision, Brandon the Vendetta Jackman.
We will be joined momentarily by the victor, Brandon Jackman, by split decision. And I can't wait to hear his thoughts on his first amateur MMA win. That didn't come without some damage, but also he got the win, and I'm sure that's what matters the most to him. And I'm looking forward to hearing what he has to say about his first win in MMA. Congratulations, Brandon Jackman. Congratulations, Brandon Jackman. I'm very excited to be interviewing you. Congratulations on getting a big win tonight. I know you had dedicated this fight to your friend who had passed away from cancer. Talk about that straight off the top, what that means to you.
Man, I love everybody right now, yo. My buddy Brad, he died of your cancer. I told him, you fight, I fight. He lost his fight, but I won tonight for you, buddy. I want to thank my girl at home, Sarah. I fucking love you. I love you. I love everybody. Bree, I love you. Daddy loves you. I love everybody. I can't believe this day actually happened. I swear on everything. This is my last fight ever. I'm retiring. I had to go out with a win. I had to go out with a win for everyone that ever helped me since day one. Travis List, World Class Academy, Premier, Fight Club Pittsburgh, Top Tier. Everybody, Stout, I love you guys. That's my heart. Oh, I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
It's exciting to see you so emotional, and obviously this means so much to you. I'm glad you thanked everybody that's been important in your life.
I want to thank you, too. You're important, too. I thank you.
Well, let's talk a little bit about the fight itself. Obviously, you ended up controlling the ground very well and had some great takedowns. How did that work out for you, getting those positions and being dominant on the top?
He was just aggressive, and he kept coming in. That's what we do at Stout. We clinch. Mm-hmm. We clinch. We make people pay from coming in close. And, you know, I took a couple, obviously. But if it meant I got the takedown, that's the point for the round. That's a win for Brandon. I'll take this all day. I'll take this all day from anybody, everybody. But you got to have heart to beat me. And tonight, I out-hearted him. I want to thank you guys.
You definitely did you stayed in the fight even at the end with that flurry, and clearly you're cut, but now you have a great story to go along with that black eye. It's been incredible to see just a little bit of your story today being dedicated to your friend. And what is it like? What would you say to somebody who's starting out in MMA or maybe had a rough go in MMA so far, and what advice would you give to them?
Look, I'm 39 years old. I started this career 9 years ago. I was 0-4 before tonight. 0-4. The amount of testicular fortitude you have to get back in there, even after 0-2, to keep going, keep pursuing. When people tell you you can't, when people tell you you're done, this is where you stand up. This is where you believe. And if you don't believe in you, nobody else will believe in you. I love everybody in here. Thank God all the rest of the fighters. It's going to be a great show tonight. Oh, P.S. Quincy McCombs, we're going to see you next year, boy. We're going to see you next year. It's your time, bro. It's your time.
Well, thanks for kicking off our event tonight, Brandon Jackman. Go enjoy your win. What a huge win for you, and congratulations.
I love you guys. Sarah, balls deep in your love, baby. I love you. I love you.